Welcome to the show. I am delighted to have Dr. Kerry-Ann Zamore Byrd here with us today. She is a respected professor, therapist, and author, and director and writer and all kinds of stuff. And one of the 20 powerful voices, though, that you will find in this new volume is Soul Talk, volume number 4.
Yes.
And these are soul-stirring stories of women who let go and let God. And this brings other women
Yeah.
together,
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Ann, to talk about things they've gone through. And there's kind of a commonality and a thread through it
Right.
throughout this book.
Exactly. And so this is the fourth installation of Soul Talk. And I believe in the three previous volumes, it's affirmations and stories. It's kind of like chicken soup for the soul. Right. Chicken soup
Right.
for the soul. But
Yeah,
this
there
is
were
one,
many volumes of
there was
that.
so
Yeah,
many volumes of
yeah.
that. I remember
Uh-huh.
growing up on those books. But this
Uh-huh.
particular book, Cheryl Pillot Williamson out of Dallas area brought us all together.
Yeah, I wondered who this is. It says
Yes.
presented by Cheryl
Presented by
Perlow.
Cheryl. And so
Mm-hmm.
she was the author of volume 1,
Mm-hmm.
and brought a group of women together. And then volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4, she said she was on an airplane and she knew this was the last installation, but she really wanted a group of women who were empowered by faith,
Mm-hmm.
and also empowered by faith, by some trauma or life happenings, lived experiences, but how their faith truly ignited purpose in them. And so it began as a few Zoom conversations with women from around the nation, and some actually out of the United States. And we began to have these Zoom conversations that developed into friendships and sisterhood, and then the book.
So you didn't really know each other ahead of
We
time.
did. I probably knew one or two of
Mm-hmm.
the women on there, but no, we did not know each
Wow.
other. But the process itself was about 10 months. Getting to know each other, sharing stories. We had therapists, attorneys, judges, persons in the media, all women from all walks of life, who came together to share their stories. And then even our publisher and editor came on the call with us, to really share stories and how our stories could be impactful. And initially, I started talking about my domestic violence story, because
Right, you've been
that's
on this show
because I
talking
have
about
been
that.
on that show
Mm-hmm.
talking about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
started to share that again. But then I really prayed about it, and the Lord was like, "No, I need you to go deeper. I need you to talk about some things that that you really haven't talked about, that maybe you're a little afraid to talk about." Because domestic violence, I'm not afraid of that anymore, because that's something, it's like, I've lived it. I talk about it. I teach on it.
Sure.
But bullying, right?
Okay, and that's what this is. This is entitled The Confrontation:
Yes.
How My Middle School Bully Became a Catalyst for Purpose. So, as an adult,
Yeah.
you came across someone who had tormented you as a child.
Tormented me. She did. She tormented me as a child. I had more than one tormentor, but she was the one I remembered the most. Um, and so yeah, so the story talks about my move to the United States of America when I was about 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was educated on the British system, and so I was 2 years ahead of my peers. So when we migrated to America, my teachers thought, "Oh my God, she's done this. She's proficient in this."
Right.
And so I was accelerated to the 7th grade. At the time, I was 10 years old.
And so, where was this?
This was in Washington, D.C.
In Washington,
Yeah,
D.C. Okay.
D.C., Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
Virginia area.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the DMV.
And that's kind of a melting pot, though.
It
I mean,
is
there's
a
a lot of
melting
different
pot, right? It is a
people
melting
living
pot.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a melting pot.
So I guess it surprises me that you had such a difficulty.
Yeah, so the DMV is very as different.
DMV. That's
That's
funny.
the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, is the DMV. And so where I lived at the time was predominantly I guess it was a predominantly white area
Mm-hmm.
that I lived in. I traveled about an hour to a private school that was pretty much, it was a black private school,
Okay.
lack of a better word. And it was a Christian school. but that's where my bullying began.
Really?
That's where my bullying
And that's
began.
really sad.
It was really sad, and I think, and my parents didn't know. They're living the American dream, and my parents had migrated to America 5 years before me,
Hmm.
and so they had been living there, really assimilating into culture, and so they did what they thought was absolute best for me.
Right.
But in that school, I was teased a lot because of my accent. I had a very, very strong accent. I had this big, massive curly hair that didn't fit the culture of 1985 at the time. I didn't understand the culture I was assimilating into. I came from a Caribbean culture, a very close knit family, very close knit church setting, to now a completely different culture. And I talk about this in my TED talk. I remember I had a teacher, we were having an exam on Scantrons, and there was a part marked race. And I told her, I said, I don't know what that means, because we didn't really identify race growing
Really?
up,
Yeah.
at least not to my recollection
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
Scantrons. And I remember she took the pencil from my hand and she checked, Black, African American, and I will never forget that experience. And so I was really in between cultures, and I would say that's how the bullying really began, in
Hmm.
because I didn't understand fully the culture I was assimilating into. I was the only child, so I was going through the process by myself. I didn't really have anyone. We lived in a predominantly white neighborhood, so all my friends were white. I went to a predominantly Black school, and then my parents' friends were Caribbean, African, and East Indians. And so I had these different worlds
Hmm.
that I had to navigate without direction on how to navigate those worlds. And so it was isolating, right? It was very, very
Sure.
isolating. And then
Yeah.
the bullying began. I think I changed schools 3 times, because of the bullying. I developed a
Oh, really?
stutter.
I was going to say, so your parents
Yeah.
knew that you were struggling.
Well, they knew I was struggling. My teachers would say things to them that she doesn't talk, and my parents knew, no, she's a
She
talker.
talks.
She talks a lot, but I wouldn't talk. I had an
Mm.
English teacher. I'll never forget her. She recognized I love books, and I would sit in the corner in the classroom not to be recognized, and she would stack a lot of books on the shelf next to me,
Yeah.
and I fell in love with books. I fell in love um with just tales and stories. And so I talk a lot about those experiences. I ate in the bathroom for like almost a year, in a bathroom
What?
stall, because I was terrified, because I had cultural foods. My mom would pack cultural foods for me, like saltfish and dumplings and things like that. And so when I opened my lunch pail at lunchtime and you would smell fish, the students would start
Oh,
laughing.
they would, yeah.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
laugh and, oh, that's gross. What is that? And I would be so embarrassed, and I didn't know what to tell my parents. And so I would just go to the restroom to eat. And so
Mm.
it was a hard time. It
Sure.
really was a hard time.
Sure.
And I think because I experienced a lot of that, I carried a lot of that with me. I isolated myself from friendships. I would be in situations where I had a lot of people around me, but you can only come but so far,
Hmm.
right? And it was protective,
Sure.
until I turned 40. I carried it for that long. Can you
Right.
believe it?
Right. And so this, you said there were
Yeah.
several kids that were taunting
Oh, there
you
were
and were
several
really
kids.
ugly. But, what was it, specific things that they said to you that kind of
Yeah.
stuck with
I will
you?
never forget this boy. I'm not going to say his name, but I know his name. I still remember what he looks like. One day he wrote on the boy, "Who's the ugliest girl in the school?" And my name, and then he drew a picture of me on there. And I
Oh.
walked into the classroom and everyone started laughing. And when I looked at the board, it was
Oh
on the
my
board.
gosh. That just
And
makes my
um, and
heart
every time I
hurt.
laughed, they would start laughing because they were like, "Oh, she has big horse teeth." And so the joke was, every time I began to talk, they would make neighing sounds
Oh my
like Mr.
word.
Ed. I know, right? And so I was the ugliest girl. I was extremely thin. I come from a thin family. And so I was, extremely
Most
thin.
people long for that.
And
If
so,
only.
and I had this big mop of hair, so I was called Broomstick.
Oh gosh.
Broomstick, Mop Head, you name it, just all kinds. I remember kids would draw on the boards, and this is 3 different schools. So this is three different schools.
It's almost like they sense,
Right. It's
a
like a
target.
target. And that's what it was, like a
Yeah.
target, like a
Oh,
bullseye.
but
And so
these are things that you carried with
I
you, that you were
did.
hearing
I did.
negative
Yeah.
voices all throughout
I
your
did.
your
So I
young
would say,
adulthood and
yeah, seventh, eighth, and ninth grade were terrible. So
hmm.
those were the three grades. Seventh, eighth, and ninth grade were terrible. The summer of my 10th grade year, I say, is the summer I became pretty. And so the summer
And
of
you
my
are
10th,
gorgeous.
oh,
That I
thank
mean
you.
that didn't leave.
The summer of my
Well,
10th grade year. It's
then
like something happened, and I remember, and I started a new school, and everyone was like, "Oh, who's the new girl? She's pretty." And then I began to
wow, that had to have been quite a
I didn't trust it.
well, yeah,
I didn't trust
I'm
it because I
sure.
always
Yeah.
thought, okay, what's coming next, right?
Yeah, who's going to make fun of me
Who's going to
next?
make fun of me? So I threw myself into school. And I said, you could, I may be the ugliest girl, but I'm definitely the smartest. Right. And so those were some of the things that, I just really threw myself into my
Yeah.
education and into a lot of community service with my parents. And so being
That's
the
good.
only child, I traveled with my parents a lot. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be the smartest. I'm going to be the richest. I'm going to be all of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
So what
yeah,
is it? Success is the sweetest form of revenge, or what?
success is the sweetest form of revenge. And that's what it was. And I
Yeah.
mean, and looking back at those pictures, I was far from ugly. I was a really, really
Oh,
adorable kid.
I know, I know, and anyway.
Yeah.
But those experiences were there. They were very
Yeah.
real. They
Yeah.
say sticks and stones, names do
Right.
hurt you a lot.
Names
Hurt
hurt.
a lot.
Yeah.
So you're doing a talk. You're
I
you're a
am.
presenter,
Yes.
and you look on the
On the
first
second row.
second row,
On
and
the second
you
row.
see one of these tormentors
The
that you
torment
recognized at age 4. I was going to see.
immediately.
You
I
knew.
recognize her immediately. And so this is a conference that I spoke at almost every year.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything unusual for me to be at this conference. I was the keynote speaker this year, not a breakout speaker. So I came early. My PowerPoint was being set up, and individuals are walking in. And I look on the second row, and I think I did a foreple take. Is there a word called foreple take? No, there isn't.
Instead of a double take,
It was a double take, a triple take, and it's like the fourth time I
times
was like,
4.
that's her.
Oh gosh.
And literally what came in my head was that's her. That's the wicked witch of the West. Like I literally just thought to myself, oh my gosh.
Oh.
And I stared for a minute to see if she recognized me, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if she recognized me, but I knew I recognized her.
Mhm.
And as I was introduced, it's like I could feel my palms sweating. My heart was beating, like my throat felt dry. I felt cotton mouth, and
Yeah,
all of those
anxiety.
all of
Yeah.
those feelings came back like it was
Oh
yesterday.
my gosh.
And I got up to speak, and immediately the stutter came back. It
I
was
can't
like
even believe that you had a stutter.
it did. The
Yeah.
stutter came back like it was yesterday. And I remember taking a deep breath, taking a sip of water,
Oh.
and stuttering again. And I remember saying, Lord, I really need you to show up. Like,
Mhm.
you cannot let me down right here in front of her again. Like, that was like literally my prayer. And the scripture that came to me
Mhm.
was Joshua.
Yeah.
Have I not commanded you? And I was just like, okay, Lord, but I'm scared. And he was like, don't look at their faces. Just open your mouth and be who I commanded you to be.
Yeah.
And it was several deep breaths. And I delivered, I think, one of the best presentations ever.
I'll bet you knocked it out of the
Yeah,
park.
I
Yeah.
did. And then the confrontation
Well,
began.
well, so this scripture is Joshua 1:9.
Yes.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and
Be
courageous.
strong
Do
and
not be
courageous.
frightened. Do not be
Yeah.
dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you
Yeah.
wherever you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a scripture I have known since I was about 5 years old. And it was in that moment that I think I really lived that scripture out.
Right.
Because there were so many other moments that I allowed to be taken away from me because
Mhm.
I was afraid, and I heard those voices.
Yeah.
I heard those old tapes in the back of my head, and there were times that I really wanted to step out and be brave, but I thought, I'm not good enough, right? They're going to laugh at me. I'm not ready. Um, And it was, and when I think of it, it was the old tapes playing back
Right.
that kept me from that. But the minute that I took my power back and I really trusted God and really trusted in his word and just
Mm-hmm.
went out for it,
Mm-hmm.
um, things changed
Yeah.
and the confrontation happened. But that's in the book. I'm not
Okay.
gonna tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to take a break. And when we
Okay.
come back, I do want to find out more from you if you have advice for someone
Yeah.
who maybe has someone living rent free in their head,
Oh yeah.
if you will, and how you do counteract that. So
Yeah.
stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. We will tell you today's show is brought to you by Gather and Co, where Kitchens and Bath, Gather and Co Kitchens and Bath, where they are transforming houses into homes. Stay with us.
Today is Wine Tasting Wednesdays at Marie's Wine Bar. You can join Marie's every Wednesday to sample new wines that have just arrived. This educational and entertaining wine experience is the perfect way to jazz up your middle of the week. Tomorrow, be sure to hit up Foster Pavilion for a great matchup between Baylor women's basketball and Southern, as Baylor attempts to beat every single college from Louisiana in one pre-conference schedule. Tickets can be purchased online starting at only $11. I'm Elizabeth Riley with Act Locally Waco, and I will see you next time.
And we are back with Dr. Kerry-Ann Zamore Byrd. And you recently joined the
Yes.
faculty at Baylor's
I have.
Diana Garland School of Social Work, which so you kind of got your feet under you now
Yes. Yes.
with this new gig that you have, which is wonderful.
Yes.
And of course, you do so many amazing things. Before we go any further, I want to talk about your directorial challenge that's coming up. You're going to be directing a show,
Yes. I want to be directing Fences.
Fences. Oh, what a
Yes,
great
by August
show.
Wilson, Broadway stage play by August Wilson. It's such a wonderful classic.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
that's going to be where?
It's going to be at the Temple Civic Theater. It
Okay.
will be the first 2 weeks in February.
Oh, very good. Very good. I often have Temple Civic folk come on and talk about
Awesome.
so maybe we'll hear some more about that
Yes.
in the coming days. But we are here talking about today Soul Talk,
Yes,
Volume 4, and this is 20 different women
it is.
telling stories like the one that we've kind of
Mhm.
gotten into a little bit, how at age 40
Yeah.
you were able to confront
Yeah.
someone who had bullied you and really had affected your life.
Yeah, she really did. I think back on a lot of decisions that I made. Decisions were really out of fear, right? Out of
Mhm.
fear of
Sure.
failure, fear
Yeah.
of being judged, fear of not being accepted, fear of being rejected, fear of not feeling good enough. And a lot of that stemmed from bullying experiences in middle school that I did not realize lived rent free in my head. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people, Anne, have instances like this where they've had some type of trauma that they really have not dealt with, and it has impacted so many other areas of their life. And
Mhm.
so I would say to someone who allows someone else to live rent free in their house, as someone who just evicted,
That's right.
I just evicted an unwanted patron in my head. I would say to really seek to really look at those feelings, identify and trace where they're coming from.
Mhm.
Because if I had done the work of identifying and tracing where those feelings come and then replace it, retrace it, you have to fill it up with something. Because when you remove it, it has to fill up with something. And so, positive affirmations, scripture, meditation, therapy, right? All of those things are really, really good ways to evict patrons that really don't belong in your head. But I would say to parents also to listen to your children. Um, I I told my parents, but I don't think they understood what bullying is, because who
Mm.
would tease a child so dreadfully?
I know. I
Right. And so,
know.
and I think in this day and age, there's so many different ways of bullying. And so I would say definitely listen to your children and be active, be an active part of their lives to see
Yeah.
exactly how they're being impacted by that.
Yeah. What's another step that people can take, though, as they're addressing these issues from childhood?
Oh my gosh. Besides addressing it head on, sometimes you will not get the opportunity to confront their bully like I did.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so the steps, I would say to really seek guidance and counseling from a
I
professional
mean, are there
to help you go.
like things like write a letter to that person?
Yeah, you can
Those
write a
kind
letter
of
and
things.
tear it up.
And
You
tear
can
it
write
up
a
or
letter and
burn it.
send it. Write a letter, tear it up. Write a letter, burn it. All of those things you can also use that in therapy.
You
Those
you
are
don't
therapy
recommend
tools.
mailing it to that person?
Well, um, because I don't know the individual circumstances,
Mhm,
I would say
right.
probably not.
Maybe
I would say
not.
definitely consult a professional
Yeah.
before you do that. I
Yeah,
mean, and you
but forgiveness really is more for you and not for
It
the person who is
it
the
is.
offender.
Yeah, I say, and it's so easy to say let it go. I couldn't because
Yeah.
I couldn't because I
And
never
here you were
addressed it.
trained in this
I was
area.
trained in it, but
Yeah.
the thing is I never addressed it.
Ah.
I simply moved on because the summer I turned pretty, I moved on.
Yeah.
Right? I
Okay, that
moved
was just a
Yeah.
bad chapter
That
and
was a bad chapter. It was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I moved on. I went to college, but I realized that those tapes were never erased. People probably don't know what a tape is, right?
I do.
You know what a
We
tape
work,
is.
yeah, we
We
work
know
in,
what a
we
tape
work
is.
with tape, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but those tapes were never erased. And
Mhm.
I like what you said. Forgiveness is not really for the other person, it's for you. And so you
Yeah.
have to make a choice to release someone,
Mhm.
right? Because you may never get I'm sorry. You may never get the
Right.
opportunity to confront, but making a choice to release, it's hard,
Mhm.
but you are able to you are
So
able
I
to
know,
do
I know
it.
you want everybody to buy the book, and it is a
Yes.
great idea for the holidays. Anybody that, you want to give the gift of inspiration,
Yeah.
these different 20 stories
Mhm.
in Soul Talk, Volume 4. Um, but did you hug and make up with this lady?
You have to read the book, Anne. I'm not going to tell you
Not
that
gonna
part.
tell us the
I'm going to
rest
tell you that it was
the
a very
rest
it was a
of the
it,
story.
it was a confrontation long time coming. Yeah.
Good. Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait. But people do carry pain
Yeah.
from childhood.
Yeah.
On and in this time of year, it just seems like it's even more difficult
Right.
when folks are dealing with the holidays and
And loss and grief and
so
isolation,
many
so many
things. Yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah, so many things. Um, so what's next? What's coming up? I know you're going to be directing a play,
I
and
am going to be
are
direct-
you in more books?
Yeah,
in the
so
works?
I am. So my chapter is going to be its full book coming out next year. I have my chapter in Soul Talk Volume 4 will be its own book.
Oh, you are going to
I
expand on
am
it.
going
Okay.
to expand on it. I realize that
I think no question,
Yeah.
there's a need for that.
it is. I think it's a need for that, and so I'm definitely going to be transparent about bullying,
Mhm.
and how it impacted me, and but really how I came from it, and the work that I had to do intentionally
Mhm.
after the confrontation, because that's when the work came. Now I have released her, right?
Right.
Now I have to do the work of letting it go. And sometimes
Yeah.
that's the hard work.
Yeah.
So that's what's next. I have my book coming out. That will be next year. But we have the Sip and Sign.
Mhm.
We had the Sip and Sign.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
that
Beautiful
was
event. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful event at Marie's. And I'm directing Fences, and a lot of other things coming up.
I was thinking back on when we first met,
Yes.
and I was at Channel 25, and you came on the show. I think you were still working on your doctorate. I don't think you'd
I
gotten your doctorate
was.
yet.
I think that was my dissertation year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
was
right.
writing
But
dissertation.
you'd done a play. It was a play or
Yes,
something.
I did the play. It was called Shattered Pieces,
Yes, right.
and it was about domestic violence.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
it was my story, and actually, that play we've shown it at multiple universities as a training tool
Mm-hmm.
for domestic violence. It was part of my dissertation, and so that's what we're doing. I have another play coming up at the end of 2026 called Just Seconds. It's a courtroom drama.
Really?
Very excited about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start doing a lot of dramatic writing
Oh
and play
wow.
as a playwright?
Um, Being the only child, I think that's where it started. So on stage as acting started when I was 5,
Okay.
and I was that kid that wouldn't shut up. And so
Even though the teachers were going, the
even
child
though
does
the
not
teachers
talk.
exactly, but
Yeah.
I was just a little kid back home in the church with my aunts and uncles, and started doing plays there. And when we migrated to America, I got into writing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I was being bullied, so I stayed home a lot. I read a lot of books. I was in love with Charles Dickens and
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare. I loved Edgar Allan Poe and Walden. I love the classics, and so my teacher encouraged me to write. So I would write these short stories.
Mm-hmm.
I took creative writing classes, and she loved my short stories, and so I turned the short stories into plays, and I would have my dolls and my teddy bears,
Yeah.
and I remember, I think I was 12 at the time. I shared it with the youth pastor at church, and he loved it. And he said, I want you to do this for a service. And from that, I just started doing plays in church. My youth pastor loved it, and our senior pastor loved it. And every year I did
Mm-hmm.
another play and did community theater. And when I went to college, I did plays there too.
Yeah.
And really just started my own theater
Yeah.
company, just writing plays.
Yeah. Yeah. So you directed them as well. So I mean,
I
you've had a
write
lot of
them.
experience doing
Yes.
that.
I've been writing and directing plays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say since I was 12, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very therapeutic, no doubt,
It is
for you.
it's very therapeutic. I also found a lot of the actors that we have had are veterans. And so
Mm-hmm.
they are individuals who have retired, they're looking for something to do, but they're also looking for a space to belong.
Yeah.
They're looking for something therapeutic, and they have found that acting is very therapeutic. And so that's one of the reasons I continue to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of my plays are about social issues
Mm-hmm.
because I find that in theater and stage plays, the arts can heal. Right? We're able to tell stories. We're able to educate. We're able to inspire, empower,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
bring awareness to certain situations.
Yeah.
And so I use the arts as part of being a social worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's hand in hand. Social work and the arts is hand in hand. It's another tool to heal communities, to
Yeah.
heal families.
Well, Jesus taught in parables. He taught in
Did.
storytelling, and the Bible's full of those
Of
stories. And
storytelling.
that's what seems our little
Yeah,
pea brain, human brains. Those kinds of illustrations
yeah,
stick with
yeah.
us. I want to go back to the bullying just in a few minutes we have left to talk about this, because it struck me. I mean, these and multiple kids
Yeah.
really traumatized you and were
Hmm.
horrible, just really horrible things they did. But I can't help but think there's something that's prompting these kids to behave this way.
Right.
And you said these were in Christian schools.
These
And
were in
so
Christian schools.
Christian parents, when you find out your kid is a tormentor, then what do you do? So,
Right. Right. I don't know if my parents or I ever had the opportunity. I think there's one confrontation that my parents had with a parent. But I went to Christian schools my whole life.
mhm,
And so a lot of this happened in Christian environments.
right.
But I believe that there were at some point that my parents did have some conversations with them. But you're right. I never thought of it in that manner before. It truly was sad that was the environment that it happened in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. But there's some deficit or some lack in
Right.
them,
Hmm.
uh, to feel like, they're going to feel better if they can
Right.
make somebody else feel worse, which just
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah. Yeah.
horrible.
And I think in those situations, I was the new girl because each time I moved, at the
Yeah,
end of the year, I'm just like, I don't want to go back. Move to a new school. I'm the new
right.
girl. The new girl gets bullied.
Get start
And then,
over.
and so those
Yeah,
3 years of bullying, I was always the new girl.
yeah,
And so sometimes the new girl gets picked on, especially if she's different. She's 2 years younger than everyone else in the same grade and making straight A's. She's She has a different accent. Everything about her is different.
Hmm.
Sometimes people fear what's different.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
question, no question. Well, it's just a delight to to hear your story, though, and it was one that really kind of surprised me because we've talked several times,
Yeah.
primarily about domestic abuse and stuff, but this is another form of abuse.
It is. It is. And it's a story I never really wanted to tell
Yeah,
until now. I don't know if it wasn't shame. It was okay. It happened. I got over it.
yeah,
But did I?
yeah. Put on your big girl
Yeah.
panties and
Put on.
let's.
Yeah. Kids tease.
Yeah. No,
But
but
that's
this
not
this
okay.
this
Yeah.
was this was way worse. This
This was way
was
worse. Yeah.
a lot more than just the
Yeah.
teasing.
Yep. And I think I didn't realize how bad it was until I got into the sister circle and we
Yeah,
began to talk. And I
yeah,
really began to share experiences and I began to remember more and more experiences
yeah.
like, whoa, that wasn't okay. Writing on the board who's the ugliest girl. That's not okay. That's
Mm,
not, that was
mhm.
mean. So
Okay, so in Soul Talk, I mean, yours is one of the first
it
stories.
is.
In here, something else that sticks out in your mind
Yes.
of one of these stories
Yes.
in
Oh my
here?
gosh, there's so many stories. I would think one of I call her my big sister now. Stevie's story. Stevie Swain is she talks about that her mother never wanted her, that her mother was not able to parent her, and she was abused badly. And then in her mother's end of life dementia, she had to take care of her mother.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so that she had to go back. And in those childhood memories came flooding back as she thought about the abuse. She thought about being rejected, not being wanted, being isolated. And now this is your end of life. And I am your only caretaker, right? I have to bring you into my home with my husband. And now I have to care for you. And she talks about, and she and we talked about it. And I said, record those moments. I
Mhm.
really encourage her to record the lucid moments. And she was able to find release and forgiveness and
Good.
joy and connection and really
Oh,
send her mother off into forever with God. It brings tears to my eyes thinking of it, right?
yeah.
That they were able to find wholeness in the
Mm-hmm.
end. And so her story really, really resonates with me. And the women in this story, they really share their heart,
Mm-hmm.
right? They really share their heart. But it's experiences that I believe in that so many other people have had similar lived experiences, but they've never talked about it.
Yeah.
And so I think this book gives others permission to forgive, to share, to have conversation. And that's why I thought the Sip and See was so important to bring communities together,
Yeah.
just to have conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a delight as always to have you
Yes.
here to talk about these important matters, that
Yeah.
things that affected us as children and can continue to affect
Yeah.
our lives and the way we think. But that's not how we're supposed to keep living. We're supposed to
No.
let go, as you say, let go and let God. Again, Soul Talk, Volume 4, available.
You can find it on my website at kzamore.com. You can also find it on amazon.com. Did I tell you it was an Amazon bestseller in 3 categories?
3 categories.
3 categories.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Affirmations, Christian writing, and I forgot the third one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Multiple stars.
Yes.
Presented by Cheryl Pollock Williamson.
Williamson.
So
Yes.
thank you so much,
Thank you
Kerry-Ann.
for having me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next time we get to visit.
Yes, ma'am.
As always. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, Your Bank for Life.
So it's
football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Hey Waco, meet your new favorite email. It's called the Waco Buzz, the local newsletter that skips crime and chaos and gets straight to the good stuff. New restaurants, hidden gems, weekend events, and stories that make you proud to call Waco home. It's quick, free, and written by people who love Waco as much as you do. Join thousands of neighbors who already start their mornings with the Waco Buzz at thewacobuzz.com.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Waco kicked off the festive season with Waco Wonderland at Heritage Square on Friday, December 5th. The holiday fun included a Ferris wheel, food trucks, mistletoe market, performances of holiday favorites, and more. The highlight was the tree lighting ceremony and dazzling fireworks display. And that was just the first night. Waco Wonderland offered even more family-friendly activities over the weekend with the downtown parade and snow tube hill made of real ice and snow. Plus a live ice sculpture carving, Waco Wonderland proved to be the go-to destination for a joyful holiday experience. We hope you have a great holiday season, Waco.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
Lights, laughter, and holiday fun. You can find them all at the Kareem Shriner Campgrounds in Waco.
It is the best fun you'll have for the least amount of money.
Last year, I told you about Lana and Roger Schmidt, the Central Texas couple who ended their more than 20-year tradition of hosting one of the area's largest Christmas light displays.
We've had people come in and ask for the Schmidt house, so it was important to keep those elements because it meant so much to the Schmidts.
This year, for the first time, the Kareem Shriners of Waco are giving that display a new home and a new chance to shine.
It was a lot more than we anticipated it would be, but we had to add electrical to it, and as you'll see, we've added a lot more to this display than they had over there.
Giving neighbors the chance to light up their imaginations and spirits with the show that holds history.
Lana and Roger, they ran that thing for 22 years. And a lot of those displays, people will come here and ask for them by name. And it's because Lana created those. She did the artwork, she cut them out, she did them all herself. It was a true labor of love. And the community came to love those same displays.
The display, now set up at 400 Kareem Circle, offers both walk-through and drive-through options, plus sweets and hot chocolate to keep our neighbors warm.
And you'll see a 23-year tradition still standing. It's been rewarding just in the smiles.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
This holiday season, let's support Meals on Wheels Waco. From November 28th to December 14th, the Texas Ranger Museum is accepting donations for our senior residents. Visit texasranger.org/Big Texas Drive for the full list of items.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
What's the worst Christmas song?
Oh, people are going to shoot me, but Robert Earl King, Merry Christmas to the Family.
Really?
Oh. But daddy got drunk, daddy got drunk. I'm like, who? Yeah, no. I'm not a great big fan. I like Robert Earl King, don't get me wrong. One of the great singer-songwriters in the Texas Red Dirt scene. But I just never got onto the Merry Christmas family thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What do you think of a funny one like we didn't talk about yesterday? The Redneck 12 Days of Christmas.
God.
That kind of is right there with that Robert Earl King, Merry Christmas to the Family.
So you don't like making fun of Christmas?
It's not
Grandma got run over by a reindeer we talked about yesterday.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, because, Grandma's
Do
never
you think
gonna
it's
get...
overplayed at all? Because that one's you can get sick of Christmas real quick with it.
Really, a reindeer is going to run over Grandma? Come on. A reindeer is going to come up and kiss Grandma on the hand because she's got a handful of corn or something. Or she smells like dough.
She's got butterscotch.
Yeah, she's been cooking in the kitchen. Grandma's going to smell good, and the reindeer is going to stop and want to sniff her.
Somewhere along the highway, try to forget all the pieces, they don't fit no more. And if I can't find salvation in Montgomery, well, I'll turn around, head on back to Marbury. Here come those tears falling. Well, here come those tears again. Here come those tears falling. This time I ain't gonna let you in. Seems I've come so far to Chilton County, and I'm trying to find my own piece of the sun. I wanna wake up in the morning down by the river. If I could do it all, I'd do it all again. Well, here come those tears calling, and here come those tears again. Well, here come those tears calling. This time I ain't gonna let you in. So cry, baby. Just cry, baby.
Unlock Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
Charles Dickens' famous novel, A Christmas Carol, is a quintessential part of many families' Christmas traditions all across the globe. This year, for the first time, Baylor University's English department brought those stories to life using actors.
We wanted to help celebrate Christmas with the Baylor community. Our faith and our teaching are so important to us. We love our students, we love our community, and we thought we have this amazing creaky building that's beautiful. What can we do with it? And A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens was the perfect story to come to life inside our building.
While the story was published in December of 1843, the English department and staff from other departments helped breathe new life into it during the planning process.
It's been amazing. It's been one of the most fun things I've ever done in my career. It has been intensive, but everybody has pitched in with amazing creative ideas. So I say it's really a loaves and fishes enterprise because everybody's bringing their own kind of thing.
Guests were placed in groups of roughly 10 people and walked through scenes from the classic Christmas novel, much like the story's main character, Ebenezer Scrooge.
I thought it was absolutely incredible. The English department did really good. My favorite part was probably the ending when Scrooge came back and all the children were like yelling and opening presents. It was really cute.
With a few changes in mind, the English department plans to do the same event next year at Christmas on 5th. For Lariat TV News, I'm Jacob Stowers.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
And welcome back to the show. I'm telling you what, this is the best time of year. It truly is, because we are going to be going to the Maybourn Museum, Bill and Vera Daniel Historic Village for the lights in the village, which is something, Rebecca Nall, we've been doing for, 6 years?
Yes, this is
now?
our 6th year.
Well, it is a great fun for me. Last year I got to sing in the church, and I'll be doing that again on the Friday nights, the 12th and then the 19th. So this is just a weekend-long thing.
Yes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 weekends in a row.
All right, and so what we're going to be doing there in the village, which is decked out, decorated so beautifully. There's a little train you can ride, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there, and the music in the chapel. I'll be singing sing-alongs, in the chapel.
Yeah, there really is so much to do, and the village looks so magical at Christmas with all of the lights. And as you mentioned, we'll have Santa and Mrs. Claus. We'll also have a Santa's workshop. So Designed In, our makerspace, has a Santa's workshop that's outside in the historic village, so families can make their own Christmas cards, or choose to mail Christmas cards to other folks in town. And we'll be making, I think, some Christmas ornaments, and then we'll also have the music and the petting zoo. The petting zoo
Yeah, right.
is
Where is
always
that
such
located?
a hit. It's usually at the very far end of the village, over by where the barn
Mhm.
is. And there's always some really fun animals. There's alpacas. There were some rabbits last year, some cute little pigs. That's so cute, so fun.
Well, it is obviously for the whole family. It's just a fun evening and a great way to kick off the holidays. You will be having a tree lighting. I know last year it was kind of at the end of the evening, but you've kind of flip-flopped.
Yeah, we flipped it this year to be the kickoff for the event. We heard from a lot of our families that have younger kids that really having it at the end of the night. Their kids had, turned into pumpkins by then. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to participate in the tree lighting, which has been such a fun thing that we've added to Christmas lights in the village. So now it's the very first thing that you'll do. We'll gather around the Christmas tree each night. Turn the lights on and sing a carol all together.
Yeah, we sang Christmas Carol last year.
And so we'll have some guests lighting the tree each night. I know that Waco Civic Theater is coming a couple of nights, and so they'll help us kick off the event.
Well, you've got a bunch of wonderful elves who've been busy helping you get everything ready. The decorating of everything is that's got to be loads of fun.
It is. We're busy working on that. We're almost done now putting on the finishing touches because it will open this Friday.
I know, it's coming
December
right
12th.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, so there are tickets available. So how do you do that? How do you get a ticket?
So you can purchase your tickets online in advance, and we're doing something different this year where you can purchase a ticket to Christmas Lights in the Village and then also like an add-on ticket. There would be a discounted ticket price to go to the museum during the day. And you don't have to use those tickets on the same day.
That could make a long day.
It really could. And then
Yeah.
we kind of close for a little bit in between, so you don't want to just be hanging out. But we wanted people to feel like they had the opportunity to see the museum as well. So we
that's
have
good.
that combo ticket available, and you can purchase your tickets online or at the front desk the evening of. And there's always around this time of year some like iffy weather. So the tickets are good for any night of Christmas Lights in the Village. So if you buy one and you plan to come on a Friday, but you end up coming on a Sunday instead, that's fine.
Yeah, well, that's good. So you will have it no matter, or if it's raining and cold and.
If it's raining and cold, we'll still have it. We try to have it no matter what. But if it's really inclement weather, if there's lightning,
or
then,
ice,
yes,
who
then
knows?
then we would.
It's not going to do that.
Yeah, but we try to do rain or shine.
Oh well, and that's good. The outdoor village though is the different dwellings, the little houses, the stores. I mean, this is an authentic village. Tell us a little bit about how all that came to be at the museum complex.
Yeah, so the village was was put together by Governor Bill Daniel and his wife Vera, and they lived in Liberty, Texas, and East Texas, and it was donated to Baylor in the 80s. So in the 1980s, it was moved to campus in its current location, and that's before the Maybourn was there. So it was really, forethinking on behalf of the museum director at the time to kind of claim that spot of land. And so it really represents, we've interpreted it to represent life in the 1890s of a small cotton community. So it's not representing Waco. In the 1890s, Waco was actually a pretty big, a bigger sized city.
Oh, sure. It wasn't a village like that.
But we have 9 wood-framed buildings outside. And so we have, a landowner's house, a cook's house. That's usually a separate building, in case there was, in case of a cooking fire. You don't want your attached to your house.
The house is like a dog trot, an authentic Texas dog trot.
Yeah,
house.
the landowner's house is a dog trot, which you would need in Texas, prior to air conditioning.
Or just for airflow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a schoolhouse, which is always a favorite.
Oh, my granddaughters love to ring the bell.
Yes, you can ring the bell. You can also ring the bell in the church. And I know you're familiar with our church, but you can go in. We have, beautiful pews. And you can stand at the pulpit. We have Bibles in the church. You can play the piano. You can go into the commissary or the general store and look at what a Sears catalog would look like. We have a replica of a Sears catalog from that time period, and what you could purchase in a general store versus what you had to order.
Yeah.
It's very immersive. Our families really love it, and it is so wonderful to bring some Christmas spirit to it this time of year.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you mentioned the opportunity for you to try your hand at some handcrafts with making the Christmas cards. I did that last year. It was so much fun, and you can also just make them, and then you'll send them to like nursing homes.
Yes. We did that last year, and that is our plan to continue. Last year, the Christmas card decorating was so popular. It was very crowded that we've moved it into a larger space this year to allow for a little bit more room. So it's going to be over in our carriage house area.
Okay.
Just so more people can participate.
Yeah. Well, I want to look ahead. Just got a couple of minutes left, but Cultural Crossroads. This is coming up in April.
It is.
I know we're talking Christmas today, but April will be here tomorrow.
Yes.
The wait time flies. So tell me briefly about what's coming in April.
Well, our building is currently under renovation. If you're familiar with our Texas Lifeways exhibit, where we're telling the people's story of Central Texas in the 1800s, we're redoing that exhibit, but adding 5,000 square feet of exhibit space to the museum. So we're talking about the rich cultures that lived here in the 1800s, and how those stories really contribute to who we are as Waco, as Central Texas today. And you'll be able to walk into a church and listen to excerpts from the Black Gospel Music Archive. We'll have a replica of the suspension bridge that you can kind of walk out into the historic village. You can play a game called Gone to Texas. So we'll have a board game in the exhibit where you can, learn about the challenges that people faced whenever they were, moving to Texas during that period. It's going to be, really interesting and offer a lot more opportunities for hands-on engagement for people of all ages. Our natural history wing is really, geared towards more adults, where, we're talking at that level. But we know that we need it to be a little bit more hands-on, really, for everyone, and more immersive. And we can't wait. They've been knocking down walls. It's really exciting to get to see the progress.
Well, it's a delightful aspect of the Reigniting Curiosity campaign that has been your hallmark for the last many months. And Maybourn Museum is just such a fun place. I mean, it is a go-to spot. And, of course, the holidays with the lights at the village. Again, they can come and get tickets there if they want, but you can go online. Yes. And what are the cost of the tickets?
So the Christmas lights is $12.
Okay.
For everyone, adults and children, or for museum members, they're $8.
Okay. Good reason to go ahead and get that museum membership.
Absolutely.
All right, Rebecca, always a delight. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to being there on the 12th and the 19th, the Friday nights of the Christmas lights at the village. And we're going to sing some songs in the chapel. So
thank you so much, and we're excited to have you.
Well, it's fun. Thanks. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.